this video, we're talking about how to actually get quality solar leads. I'm gonna give you the full breakdown. Hey guys, welcome back to another solar video on the channel. And on this video, we're actually talking about something that is very, very wanted, which is how do we get to the solar leads, man? I want to know how to generate solar leads, but not just any solar leads. I want to know how to get the goodies, how to get the quality leads that everyone talks about, but not everyone can get. So I'm going to give you a few things today that you can take away straight away that will help you tremendously if you're doing this for someone else or you're trying to generate leads for yourself. We spent over $25 million in solar ads in the last 3 years alone. And I'm telling you, if you listen to what I'm about to say, I'm going to save you a heck of a lot of money, probably tens of thousands of dollars, if not six figures like we did. So first of all, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do by clicking the link down below. I would appreciate that. And if the conversation ever comes up, bring it up to somebody. All right, Van. How do you actually get the good solar leads? First of all, this was inspired by someone else that we had a conversation with, and I was like, I can make a video about this. So here we are, right? First thing you need to remember is that when you put in an ad out there for people to see, okay, I used to think back in the day that we want anything that gets people through the door and then we'll try to sell them. What I mean by that is put out something, a bait that attracts people, and then that bait will attract certain type of customer. Doesn't matter what the contact is, what the intent is, we're gonna try and sell them solar. And we thought that was the holy grail. And so we started doing it. We actually had a bunch of clients that we did that for. And it worked for a certain period of time until everybody started copying us. But even then, what I noticed was that the intent of the leads obviously wasn't there. And what I mean by that is when people apply and leave their details and then later on to be contacted, the contact rate was extremely high because people are expecting your call. But when you reach out and you try and talk to them about solar, they're not interested. And the reason why they're not interested is because we were placing a gimmick out, like our bait wasn't related to solar at all. And that's why on the back end, when we try to contact people and talk to them about solar, they were not interested. They simply were not interested. And so I was in a situation where, I was like, what do we do? Because some of our clients simply could not understand what the hell was going on. Like the intent wasn't there. We were getting leads. They were super cheap, but it just could not sell them solar. For some clients it worked, for some it didn't, right? And at a certain point, we just decided to change our strategy altogether, okay? So I'm here to tell you that if you're putting a bait out there, some type of bait that is not related to solar, I'm gonna give you an example. We tried offering people a new roof to go solar. We tried offering people cashback incentives to go solar, and that was somewhat okay. We tried offering people to pay their mortgage. We tried offering people to get a free generator. We tried offering people a free Energy Star appliance, right? We tried all these things and nothing seemed to work. We were getting leads, but they were not good quality. I'm here to tell you that in order to get good quality leads is that you need to put out something that is related to solar. Like you need to get all the gimmicks out, as they like to call it, create an angle of a campaign that is strictly related to solar. You could tie it into the news. So it's real-time marketing, which is, hey, they raised up the tax rates to 30% now, so you can get paid out more. You get more covered, right? It has to be something about solar. Now, obviously, how you do that, it could be a simple concept, but the way you angle it makes a lot of difference online, and that's something that people don't really understand. And that's why we're putting together a separate course that's going to talk about it, specifically lead gen, because we've been getting an insane amount of inquiries about how the hell you get solar leads that are good quality and that are actually sellable. So basically what I'm getting at is that those gimmicks do not work. They might get you leads, they might get you cheap leads, but unless you have a solid way of selling those people because you just need phone number and email, then yeah, you're going to get a bunch of contacts, but the intent level is going to be very, very low. How you get high intent? That's through the advertising campaign. That's what you put out there, which is what you need to actually think about. So what you actually think matters doesn't. And what I mean by that is we used to think, well, okay, with that bait that we give people, a generator, free appliance, roof, whatever, because people want it so bad, we can ask them more questions on the back end. So through the lead form, if we do a lead form, if we do a landing page, like a quiz, whatever, we can ask people more questions. So I thought, and that's what most people think, and a lot of our clients used to think, that more questions answered is in direct proportion to the intent level of the customer. And now I'm here to tell you that that couldn't be further from the truth. Like we used to literally ask people to answer 15 questions, and when the intent wasn't there, honestly, it was as good as dead. Okay, now we just ask people what their utility bill is, what their credit score is, first name, last name, address, email, phone number, and that's that. We don't ask them any more questions. And the intent level is much higher than what we used to do with the gimmick ad. Okay, I call them gimmicks because they're like props, right? They're like little props that you put out there, you think you're getting traction in. We didn't know any better. How would I know that that's not high intent leads? You actually want to talk to people that are genuinely interested in solar, put out stuff that is about solar, right? It's like no brainer, right? But back then I was like, dude, I need to get cheap leads and that's all that matters. And now I'm like, dude, I don't even want to talk to these people. But anyway, you live and you learn. But I'm saying all this to you so you don't repeat the same mistakes that we did, okay? Now you do what you will, but I'm just saying that it's much better if you have a high intent lead than a lead that is very low intent and is most of the time is going to waste your time, okay? And the time of your people. So again, the questions that they answer has nothing to do with their level of intent. All right, we already covered that? We good? Now the next question I know you're probably asking yourself is, Evan, all right, cool. I know I need to get high intent leads, but how do I get that high intent leads? How do I get people to actually want solar? You create that in the ad campaign itself, okay? So the ad needs to talk about whatever it is that you're trying to sell. It could be in a very subtle way, but it needs to be there. And if it's not there, I'm telling you, the intent of that individual is going to be very, very low. No matter how many questions or how many hoops you make them jump through, okay? The intent pretty much not going to be there. So the intent itself is created through the ad campaign, and that is your headline. And your headline could be displayed in 3 places. It could be at the top of the copy, which is the very first line you see from the copy after the actual page itself. The creative, so it needs to be within the creative. It doesn't have to be, but you can put it on there as well, obviously through a different version. And then number 3, in the headline itself. So the headline is actually now is in 3 places, okay? So now we're targeting the audience that we want to target. We target homeowners, or we target people that are customers of a specific utility. Like for example, you call out PG&E customers or Edison customers or whatever, right? You call them out through these means, okay? And also include in these 3 places, outside of the audience, you also include what you're actually selling. People need to know. I'm telling you, if you do this, the intent of the people that you get going to be much, much higher, and it's going to be well worth it. Now, the third thing is, I always tell people, you want to do online lead gen? Cool. I say go broad. You want to target like a specific city? That's fine. Just know that if you're targeting a specific city, your ad cost or your CPL is going to be so much higher than if you were to target the entire state, for example, that it's unbelievable. And most of the time it's worth to target the entire state than to focus on an individual area or city. So my advice to you is to go broad. Your CPL will go way down. You'll be able to talk to more people. So you're going to have more appointments. You have the opportunity to sell more people. Okay. So if your installer is just in one state, then you're going to have to find an installer that can serve multiple cities or areas or whatever. But don't put your back against a wall yourself by only having an installer that can install in one city. It might work for them. They're not the ones paying for the leads. It's you, but it doesn't work for you. I've been telling that to people for 3 years. And as you can imagine, not everyone wants to listen. And so they don't get the results. It's as simple as that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up so we beat the algo. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the uploads. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And I'll see you again in the next video.